Hello, friends. A very short update on the supplements. There was a very distinctive uh, observation that I was able to make. So I'm going to make this very short video because I think it's important to mention that point for those who are using that practice of, that breakthrough of the supplements to bypass malabsorption or shortage of not malabsorption, maybe physiological deficiency where we don't absorb minerals anymore and so on. So, as you recall, I told you before I started this practice, my balance, when I walk, my balance would be severely hampered. And eventually that got fixed, right? When I stand up, I couldn't stand up and right? So my balance, and then it does appear to me back then, it was the main reason for these headaches, for these, not headaches, I don't know what to call them. Well, maybe partially, right? Because sometimes thinking alone can cause so and so. Well, you know the history of these videos, okay, kids? So now, after it got fixed, I began to notice something, and then it was very pronounced lately. Now I am like, I had focused on something that I noticed, and lo and behold, it is real. Uh, Now my balance, okay, my balance back then before I started this practice, what, like about a year ago or less, maybe just about a year ago. Uh, well, it's more than that actually, because I didn't publish it until later. Uh, my balance now, it used to be before that, my balance was my own conscious part of that brain that is really conscious. It was actually, I could feel it. It was controlling my legs and my movement and so on. And it was clumsy because it's a second, naturally, or normally, it is not its function. It's something else apparently in the brain. So when it started thinking up, I could feel my legs. I could feel that like my brain is trying to balance and right, or that part of the brain. Well, now I can clearly see that I no longer feel my legs when I'm walking, when I am, and I'm not thinking my balance. So now it is 100% automatic. Automatic means my conscious brain is now thinking stuff up and so on, but my balance and my walking and standing and so on, balancing the body is really I no longer think it, and I no longer feel my legs or thinking of my legs and like issuing commands. The brain, that part of the small brain, issuing commands. So number one, it's a secondary function. Two, the communication paths perhaps are longer. That's why I was like clumsy walking and it starts hurting and so on and so forth. Now it's automatic. Really, really, really. I mean, as if that part of the brain, or we have a part of the brain that is responsible for balancing, right? That part was either put to sleep or got damaged, or so and so. So now it's either being revived or has been like activated again. Maybe it wasn't damaged, maybe it was damaged or something of the sort. So just to let you know, so now that part has been woken up, and my balance, whether I'm working or praying, like Muslims, how we pray and so on, or stand up on one leg, and now I don't think it anymore. It is totally an autonomous function in my brain. So it must be another part, right? So that was deactivated. So apparently that material, maybe minerals, I don't know, maybe composite material from the gut, and like we know all about that now, right? Uh, be careful, fungus is very important. Is crucially important, right? Don't get rid of it. So now that said, uh, the fungus in the guts is what I'm talking about. Now that said, like these are two different functions now. Now my conscious part, which thinks, which sees, which blah 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 blah, right, has moved that function out now. So guess what? So here's a piece of information that I basically was able to observe just basically with introspection. My memory, greatly improved. It's improving on like with small increment, but constantly improving, constantly improving. All right, so that's number 2 point. Number 3 point is, again, I kind of spaced it out 1 week now, but now I began to sense that maybe I'm spacing it out too much because I avoided these new symptoms of overdosing, right? But now How do I know? Well, I am a computer guy, so I use the mouse a lot, and then the knuckle on this particular finger, right, used to hurt a lot, right? And sometimes what I did toward before, like a year ago, before I started this practice, I used to substitute it with the middle finger, right? Like I would use this finger instead because it was really hurting. I mean, seriously. Let's see, did I just, okay, right? And now it was gone completely. It got stronger and, oh, no problem. But then when I started spacing out my supplements like every week, this came back to hurt a little bit more. So apparently I need more of the supplements on a shorter frequency. Or how often do you use the supplements, right? Right. Minerals and vitamins and biotin and things of the sort, right? Uh, we already know about that. So that actually began to hurt a little bit. So I knew I need to kind of up my dose a little bit and compact it into a shorter frequency. Like instead of every 7 days, now I'm doing every 6 days. I'm kind of shortening the span little by little. Right? That's the other monitor. Okay. So you see what I'm saying? So the half, right? The left half is weaker than the right half. So again, the maximum dose is really should be to handle the weaker half. That I noticed that my right half and the muscles and so on, grew much bigger than the left half. I think we all have that. So that half of the brain. So now you really, once you feel symptoms, the symptoms you feel and you should observe and look for is really the weaker half, right? And then the doctors should, your doctor should be able to tell you that. So when you do that, you should limit your dose to avoid the symptoms on the weaker half, right? So that's point number 3. Point number 4, really the dose obviously is different from one person to another. We can stand a higher dose. Like I can stand a higher dose. Maybe you can't. So on. So your doctor should be able to tell you that. So I think this is probably, unless I discover something important like that balance thing, then I think that's the final video on the supplements. But what I'm saying is the dose is different from one person to another, and the frequency of it. When you take your supplement and so on, your doctor should be able to help you to do so. If not, you should observe your body. It should be healthy, but then if you begin to experience symptoms, space things out and right. But yeah, the main point here is improvement and dose frequency, as well as that separation of function has happened. Now I can clearly see it. I told you before, I used to trip on all these wires, Ethernet wires and so on, no matter what, in the power cords, right? No matter what, whenever I walked there, the right foot was okay, which is the stronger half, right? The left foot or the left leg always tripped on those wires, always, right? That happens no more. One more thing. This was a very good news for me. I used to have like very bad stomach acid, right? Whenever I slept, it happened once or twice a week sometimes. After I fell asleep, the whole content of the stomach just flushed back out as I was asleep. And then I can feel the burning sensation. It was so atrocious. I would get up after I fell asleep and I would like sleep against the wall or something like that, or until the digestion has had enough time to clear some of the food or something of the sort. That doesn't happen anymore. Ever since that, I began to heal like from diabetes, which is not official diabetes, and other things and balance and so on. My stomach now, I only for like since I started this maybe a year ago, I only had that probably, I don't know, probably once, maybe twice. So my stomach acid got that like acid reflux thing got so fixed. Have a nice day. Kids, I love you. And Zero, give me a call, man. I miss you. Bye now.